Ah dear. Right. Indian 741B engine. Just about to take it apart. So I've got to put the lock tabs on the crank. Right.
How did all the truing up go?
Very well. Yeah, I'll show you in a minute. Okay, right, so basically it was all miles out of line, so you have to set this, your two conrods, in here with the correct amount of side play.
Yep.
You can hardly see it there, but there is 15 thou in there, which is your minimum. 15 to 20 thou. 10, 11, 12. So that's your 15 thou. See that gap there, look? So that's 15 thou in there, look.
Yeah.
So we know that's correct. Now I've got to put the lock tabs on these because it's all been torqued up to spec. Put it on the lathe, and I think I got it to within 1.5 thou this side and just over 1.5 this side.
Yep.
So it's all dialed. They say within 2 thou on the tolerances, but that's pretty close for one of these, you know. So I had to press these back in, the bearing casings, or housings I should say. Right, to take some off the back of these, they take your rocker pins, but this one especially was protruding quite a long way, and obviously when we first tried it, or when they had built it, the guy said it had a very tight spot and it was graunching and stuff, so it was actually rubbing on there. So what you have to do is you assemble it all and you check your end float on the actual crankshaft, not on your conrods, and then you should have 15 thou as well. So you do that, you get your end float right, which is between these thrust washers here, yeah, and these hardened faces here. But then you have to shim it so that the crank is central to the crankcases to within 1/64 of an inch, which is very small. So I've just taken it apart again, because I've got to put the lock tabs back on these. Bearing in mind this, I mean this wouldn't go round at all. Having a hot flush. These are all the shim washers I had to go through and redo and get it all in the right place, you know. Right, these are your lock tabs. Shape of the nut, so they go on. That one will go with a little twisty bendy, so I don't really want to tighten them up anymore. See if it'll go. Right, that's good, it'll go. And we want a little tiny spring washer. Yeah, thread lock. Obviously you don't want anything in here coming undone, because it will lunch your engine pretty quickly. Okay, he's good. What a lucky guess, wasn't it? Okay, that's good. Right, so obviously I've taken this apart about 20 times to get it halfway near right. So you can see it's not as easy as just putting a shim washer in it. Every time you want to get it right, you have to press out this bearing housing and put those shim washers in behind it. Yeah. So every time you want to adjust it that way, you have to take all of that out, put it all back in again, blah blah blah, you know. You want to make sure these washers are hardened so you can't do them any damage. Just get yourself a punch. Just make sure they're tapped in home, yeah? That's all it takes. Okay, so you've got your two bearing races and you want them what they call back to back. Okay. You want him to go on that way. Okay. Plenty of lube. Con rods are a different way round on these. You've got a male and a female rod, yeah? See, that's your centre rod, it's called a male rod. That's your outer rod, it's called a female rod. On a Harley, the female rod faces the back of the engine. On an Indian, it faces the front. Don't ask me why. Just want to say why.
I was trying not to do the obvious.
Right, so he's home. He's home. Okay, next one, that goes back to back. And our spacer. And we've got that one then goes, which way is that way? I will double check all these. I haven't found it because the two books I've got, pictures aren't clear. But I'm only going to assemble it with the two bolts at the moment, so it's easy enough to change if we need to. Like I say, I'm not 100% sure that the orientation of all that lot back to back and that is correct, but it's only being assembled at the moment. Like I say, with the two bolts, so if I do need to change it, I'll find a decent picture of it somewhere. Right. So that's that. Let's get our bolts nipped done in there for the moment. Right, give it a little whiz round to free it up because it's got a bit of grease on it. It's pretty good. So we know wherever it is. You've got your 15 thou end float on there. I think it's 17 actually, I've got it to. So you now pinch those up very lightly. Check it again. See, that's, if you just let it go, look, it's coming back up. So you know your balance is pretty good. No noises, no graunching. More than happy with that, you know. And then, like I say, you have to centre the rods up. Right, so you want it to line up with this crack here. Now, I'm not worried about that at all, that's pretty bang on, you know.
Okay.
Like I say, it should be within 1/64 of an inch. That one's probably that way, very, very slightly, but that's nothing to worry about. It's within tolerance. So, yeah, more than happy with that as a crank, you know.
Very good.
Runs true, runs nice. And your other test is put your outer casing on, because obviously that runs on the nose of that. That's its furthest part out. If it's going to rub anywhere, it'll do it on that. That'll tighten it up. So put him on there. There's nothing wrong with that. It's nice. So that was that. I mean, it's like 3 hours of fucking around on the tapping it, banging it, getting it as close as you can, because you'll hit one crank web and get it lined, and then that throws the other one out.
Yeah.
So you've got to sort of get a happy medium between the lot, but that I'm more than happy with. So we can then now start looking at getting all your cam gears in and all of that jazz. So we've got to change the rollers in them, we've got all of this lot. The Harley Davidson has 4 camshafts, the Indian only has 2. So I've got to work out, there's 2 sets of camshafts he's given us. These are your pins that hold your rocker arms, yeah? So they don't fit in there, very slightly oversized. That'll fit on the outer one. Yeah, you're going to have to ream a couple of them out. We've got to change the pulley wheels in them as well, because these will be too hard to ream out. They, I believe, are a press fit in there. I've got to read up on it. So they go in there, yeah, and take these. You have 2 different types. One's what they call curved and one's straight. So they sit like that. Okay.
Yeah.
So then your camshaft with the lobes on the back, and then those wheels hit on there, on the cam. Okay, so they're marked up the same. And that'll be that one. That is a press fit, I remember that, onto there. It's on a wood rough key, so you can't get that wrong. That's your bevel drive for the oil pump. So then I think that goes inside it like that, if I remember rightly. But that one isn't a press fit. So that should have 3 marks on it. 1, 2, 3, which it has. So that's your driving cog, and that one will sit in there. So that's all got to be timed up correctly. But as I say, I want to check out that needle roller orientation first. So then you've got to get those pins in, and you locate those, and your cams go in, and you have your push rods that go in here. Well, they're not push rods, they're followers, tackets. And they live in there. So as your cam wheel rotates, pushes up one of your lifters, like that. So that'll be on there. That'll be that one. See, so as the cam wheel hits that and goes round, it'll push your valve up and down. Obviously I've got to get all of this lined up. I don't want to do it until I've got that orientation right in there, yeah?
That's it.
So that's about it really.
Very good. Coming along nicely.
Yeah, I mean, it takes time to do the cranks. Doing all of this, once I know that those bearings are in the right place, it doesn't take long at all. But I need the gasket set now, so I'll ring him today and get that posted down. But as the crank goes, I'm very pleased with that. That's plenty good enough.